Okay, gentlemen, you ready? Know the rules. Let me remind you to keep it clean, protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
So, Teofimo Lopez against Arnold Barboza. New York against California. In Times Square. Perfect confrontation. You saw the fan poll that favored Teofimo Lopez by 77%. Fans of Barboza, who is 32-0, might beg to differ. A year ago, on the undercard of Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney in the Barclays Center across the water in Brooklyn, Barboza had a close fight against a lanky Irishman named Sean McComb. A lot of people thought McComb was winning the fight. Barboza wound up with a clear decision.
Yeah, Jim, and speaking of that, I visited Teofimo Lopez in camp in Miami, and he told me that Barboza Jr. had, quote-unquote, barely won his last 3 fights or so.
It was a close decision against McComb, that's for sure. At the end of the day, it's not how you win them, it's whether you win them.
And I'll say that those 3 opponents were top-notch opponents. Those wasn't just any of your average guys, you know what I'm saying, in the rankings. Those are the top of the heap.
There's an interesting comparison between Barboza and 168, 175-pound knockout sensation David Benavidez. David Benavidez in the early teens had to peel off 80-plus pounds to get himself into shape to become a boxer. Barboza at one point put on 100 pounds to be a football player and became a pretty good high school football player, a linebacker at over 200 pounds. Then peeled off 80 to 100 pounds to get back into position to be the boxer he is now. If you have the discipline to do that kind of thing, then you have the discipline to pursue the craft of boxing, which takes day after day, hour after hour application.
This sophisticated chess match about to heat up, man. I really like that both of these guys came out with their mind in the game. They're not just in there physically trying to break that door down. They're thinking their way through this fight.
And you mentioned discipline, Jim. Arnold Barboza has had a bunch of training camps in Big Bear, away from his family, in the mountains, in altitude.
Big Bear has a long record of success as a training location for a lot of top fighters.
Good right hand by Barboza.
And a left hand underneath by Teofimo. They're trading shots, more or less in the middle of the ring, which is an entertaining start to this fight.
It is.
All right, relax, guys, relax, relax. Let me in, let me in. Let me in, relax, relax, relax. Yo, that's, yo, oh shit.
Yo,
you seen his face. You seen his face. You seen his face. That shit hurt him, bro. That shit hurt him. That body shot hurt him. Keep on jabbing. Keep on jabbing. You'll get him. You'll get him. You can't throw that right hand like that. Jab your way in. You got a lot of energy, bro. Pégale duro. Cuando touch, rácala. Okay? I got you. Remember, you gotta touch him. Then go for it, all right? You hurt him in the body already. Shoot the body. Keep on jabbing.
Lopez taking instruction from his father in the corner. Taller Barboza stepping to the center of the ring again. Both fighters jab to the body. What's the normal purpose of the jab to the body, Antonio?
Well, that's just to set the other punches up, and it keeps your guy at bay. It's hard. Oh, good right hand counter. It's hard to go through that stiff body shot.
Yeah.
but look for Teo to add on to that shot. That's what makes it effective.
Combination punchers are usually the best fighters. Teofimo Lopez has been at times in his career a brilliant combination puncher.
And Jim, of these 3 main events, this fight has by far the closest odds. Lopez entered the fight just a -260 favorite.
Sneaky left hand.
And this is the 3rd defense of Lopez's Ring Magazine Junior Welterweight title. He won it from Josh Taylor, defended it successfully against Jermaine Ortiz and then against Steve Claggett last summer. But this is certainly the toughest opponent by far of those 3 defenses.
Left hook landed for Barboza.
Yep.
Not a hard shot, but it found the target.
If these rounds are going to be this competitive and this close, it's going to be a nightmare for these judges to find out who's actually winning this fight.
Well, particularly because at, excuse me, at this moment, it's not an overwhelmingly fast pace. There are flurries. There are moments when they step to each other. There are other moments when they're standing and looking at each other and trying to survey the next opportunity. That always makes it harder for judges, too.
You certainly see the disparity in the hand speed. Lopez wanted some of the fastest hands in the sport, and Barboza's patient. He's waiting to counterpunch, and he does right there.
Great observation, Cop.
No measurement. Don't stick your arm out like that. Let's go.
That was beautiful.
Time!
When you have him on the ropes, just touch him. He's already there. Just keep playing with him right there. And then you set up down here. This is not going to move, okay? This will move, okay? Yeah. Yeah, but stay right here then, but let's stay busy. Not just try and throw one single shot. Put a combination together, okay? 1-2-1 or 2-1. Change it, okay? Keep set him up here, then put the 2-1. But 2 shots together because he's trying to counter you if you throw one single shot, okay? Yeah. Let's do the jabs a little bit sharper, okay? Good. Have fun in there. Center of the ring, okay?
Times Square on a Friday night. Always a lively and active scene. You might see this at any moment of the day or night, of course, because of the level of flow of traffic and human beings who come through Times Square. But this is special. These people are here for a unique setting for a boxing card, courtesy of Turki Al-Sheikh, who has brought big-time boxing to the middle of Times Square.
You see Teo, he keeps jabbing to the body, and that's obviously a great way to disrupt Barboza's rhythm.
I think you showed me between rounds a scorecard that had Teo winning the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, Jim, I have Teo up 20-18, 2-0, but these are tough rounds to score, particularly the first rounds. I think Teo's beating Barboza to the punch, and of course, he's more creative with his offense.
None of that unexpected. And that's part of what may make it an uphill fight for Barboza, is a little more workmanlike as a boxer than Teofimo Lopez.
Well, that was a good right hand that Barboza just landed, but Teofimo reacted and fired right back. This is going to be a hell of a fight.
I think if Barboza has in his arsenal a best punch, to me it's his straight right hand. I think that he beat McComb stepping forward with the straight right hand. Now that's against a southpaw. Obviously, this is a different equation because Teofimo is a conventional fighter.
And you see right there the leg, the footwork, the movement. That'll drive a guy like Arnold Barboza nuts because he needs you to engage. You know what I mean? And Teofimo is not having it. He's on the square tonight.
Teofimo, one of the most athletic fighters in all of boxing, and one of the most confident, too.
And he's getting home with that left hand to the body. Be prepared for that right hand to crash up top. Watch.
Straight right hand again from Barboza.
I think Barboza's going to have to close the gap a little bit. If he let Teo just sit out there from that range, he'll never be able to find him.
He's falling short with his jab. Falling short with his jab by a few inches every time. So that underlines your point. Antonio.
And it's the little movement that Teo is doing in front of Arnold that's giving him these fits. The little feints, the little breaks, because he don't know if he's going to punch off those movements. Good counter hook.
The little feints upset your timing and rhythm.
It really does. And look at that hook he just hit on a Barboza with. Teo is on his square. I haven't seen him look this good in a long time.
He's certainly looking sharp. I watched him spar in Miami. He almost put one of his sparring partners through the ropes.
Oh, that counter shot with the right hand.
Excellent. Teofimo Lopez showing you some of his remarkable talent here in this round. He was already ahead 2 rounds to none on Coppinger's card, and now a third round.
Very good. One right round at a time.
Handed Teofimo his only loss. George Kambosos Jr. has a fight set, and it's against Richardson Hitchens. Hitchens defending his IBF super lightweight title for the very first time. Kambosos, the former unified lightweight champion, looking to become a 2-division champ in this fight. The fight is Saturday, June 14th at the theater at Madison Square Garden. That fight and so many others live on DAZN for you.
Mike Coppinger, did George Kambosos train in Australia, or is he training here for the fight?
Against Richardson Hitchens?
Yeah.
He is training in Australia, I hear. But look, I think Kambosos, you can never count him out. Obviously, he had that major upset against Teo, and they should really run that fight back, as Antonio said earlier.
Quite an assignment, though, to train in Australia and then make the long flight here to the United States and try to put it all together. He's done it before.
He also often trains in Miami, and again, Hitchens has a tricky style.
And we turn our attention back to round 4 between Teofimo Lopez and Arnold Barboza, and let's once again check in with the one-time heavyweight sensation, Mike Tyson. Mike, what do you see?
Hey, sensational fight. Man, Barboza's in there fighting. Teofimo's just very sharp. Very sharp fighter. Very elusive.
Jim, I just think so far the hand speed and the foot speed is a big problem for Barboza.
It's hard for Barboza to hit him. Very elusive, Teofimo Lopez.
I think that's where Barboza needs to pitch camp, right there, if he's going to have some offensive effect, to be an offensive effective against Teofimo. Good time right hand by Teofimo.
I think, as Jim pointed out, Barboza keeps reaching with that jab. He's just fighting at the wrong distance, right?
That means he got to double it up, get closer. And I think also Arnold Barboza need a man to be kind of standing still. It's, you know, when you move, it throws him off for sure.
Well, he's not as fast as Teofimo Lopez. He's not as fluid in his motions as Teofimo Lopez. He's a hard-working fighter who might be just a little bit out-talented here.
That's what it looks like right now, but he still have rounds to go. He could change it, turn it around, but you got to be a smart fighter to do that.
You should never count out a fighter who's 32-0.
Exactly.
He's seen a lot. He's gotten past a lot. He's found a way to win fights that might not have been going his way. Now it appears he would have to do it again.
I'm curious
against probably the most gifted fighter he's fought.
Exactly. I'm curious to know what his corner's going to tell him in between rounds.
Or hold the back of his head. Pull it on the back of his head.
Barboza landed an uppercut, but he was throwing it from a distance. It loses power when it has to travel through space. The uppercut that really hurts you is the one that's
Stop measuring, Barboza. Stop
inside.
measuring.
Last week, there was a sensational fight in England between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. Our Emily Austin has caught up with Conor Benn.
We are here in Times Square with Conor Benn, coming off of a phenomenal fight. What a welcome to New York. Have you ever seen such a thing?
No, it's a blessing to be here and watch history tonight. I mean, what an event, what an occasion. I thought it was crazy at first. I couldn't see it. And now what an event. You know, it's unbelievable, absolutely phenomenal.
Fans are thinking these fights are 50-50. Any predictions going into the night?
They're definitely all 50-50. I think there may be one upset. I've got Teo over Barboza. I just think Teo's all wrong. I've got Ramirez and Haney. That's a 50-50 fight. But then I've got Ryan Garcia. It's maybe being a sticky fight early on. First 2 rounds, and then I think Ryan will get the stoppage.
Ryan by stoppage?
Ryan by stoppage.
Well, we'll find out in just a few moments. I'll let you enjoy the fight. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, thank you.
Cop, did you find it interesting that he called the fight between Haney and Ramirez a 50-50?
Yeah, I think that's going a bit too far, and I think that's probably personal. Devin Haney and Conor Benn have talked a lot of trash on social media over the years.
Well, I think they're really basing it off the last fight that Haney had. There's still a lot of questions that hasn't been answered that we're going to need to answer.
You're talking about the fight in Brooklyn against Ryan Garcia last year.
Exactly.
Which was a nightmare for Haney, but wound up a no decision.
And Haney, like Barboza, Jim, he trained in Big Bear, too.
Never a bad idea. Askinati Golovkin.
Good counter right by Teofimo Lopez.
Teo looks super, super sharp today.
Good body shot. Yeah, he is sharp. He's on his space.
Is it the best Teo we've seen since his win over Lomachenko?
I would say yes.
Watch your heads in there, guys.
I would say yes. He's in control. He's doing what he want to do.
So he's put it together at the right moment for the right stage. A New York fighter fighting in Times Square.
You know he's feeling good. Look at the moves he's making in there.
Yeah. He's showboating just a little bit.
Barboza now doing a better job of coming in and landing his shots and asserting himself.
Well, Barboza is nothing if not determined. He's gotten through a lot of different obstacles in his career. He has probably performed at a higher level than most people would have thought when his professional career began.
Yeah, and Teofimo Lopez, he has a bit of swelling under his right eye. It's gotten a little worse as the rounds have gone on.
We're only in round 5 of schedule 12. Still plenty of time for Barboza, almost certainly behind on the scorecards, to find the way to reel Teofimo in. But again, Teofimo looking so good, and there's a hard right hand thrown from distance, but landed perfectly.
And I believe that 1-2 is, he's found a home with that 1-2. He's trying to smash in on Arnold Barboza, looking to hurt him or either drop him with it.
You see Teofimo a lot of these times using that cross-arm defense, and it's working pretty well for him.
It's his version of the Philly shell.
It's pretty brilliant counter-punching by Teofimo in some moments, particularly in this round.
Yeah, he's in his bag right now, Jim. He's feeling good, man. Remember, this entertainment. It's the entertainment business. Look at that jab.
10 seconds, gentlemen.
So often, fighters portray with their body language how confident they're feeling in the ring. Teofimo strutting, dancing, throwing a left hook in the middle of a dance step, and then bugging for the audience. All of that.
He's putting on a show, man. He's performing. Unbelievable.
35 rounds. Give me. Keep on fucking him with the jab. You listening to me? Give him water. He's done. What I told you. You're better in your distance. He's scared of you. Because that jab is too fast. Listen, the jab is winning us the fight.
Okay.
Don't stop throwing it. And then set up your punches. Think about it. Every time you do it, slip back. Give him this. Give him this. Come back with the right.
Night, baby. It's your
It's
night.
your night. You already, you got your rhythm after your fifth round. You got the rhythm.
As we continue to watch New York fighter Teofimo Lopez, let's go once again for observations from the ultimate New York fighter, Mike Tyson.
Man, if I'm not mistaken, Teofimo Lopez is giving a masterful performance.
Get down, man. Get down, get down.
I don't think you're mistaken, Mike.
No, he's just looking good. Smart, fast, sharp, elusive, not getting hit countering.
Mike, at what point in a training camp are you sure that you're going to come in and deliver a performance like this? Does it take all the way to the end of the training camp, or can you tell halfway through, 2/3 of the way through, something like that?
I'm the guy that takes at the end of the training camp because I'm fighting hard every moment of the round. So yeah, I like to fight to the end, like what? A few days before the fight and just get right in there. Just get so accustomed to fighting, sparring, then just get right in the ring.
Thank you, Mike. Product of the great Cus D'Amato, mystical teacher and trainer of boxing, who handled Mike from his teenage years onward. After having taken Floyd Patterson to Olympic gold medal and heavyweight championship of the world, Cus D'Amato was a legend in the sport. Mike Tyson is still a legend in the sport.
I just want to point out, man, Teofimo Lopez is looking fantastic tonight, and I can't see too many fighters beating him on this square. When he's moving like this, being hard to hit and counter-punching, practically unbeatable, man.
Well, it would probably take another fighter with extreme natural talent, and Barboza is not that. He's a worker bee. And a good one, a really good one, who has accomplished a lot. Once again, the record is 32-0, and there's a hard counter right hand that could change perspectives right now.
He hurt him. He hurt him with that.
Let's see how he follows up.
But they both exchanged. Did you see that, Mike? They both landed solid shots.
He buckled Teo's legs.
Another one.
Antonio Tarver is flinching here at ringside. Antonio, they're not hitting you. Don't worry.
I can see it coming,
But that was exactly what Barboza needed to change this fight.
And close the distance, Mike. He need to close the distance to have that type of success. He got to keep letting his hands go, though.
And he's got to put mental determination behind it. It can't just be a one-punch festival. He's got to make that festival begin a momentum shift in the fight. And he's trying to do it right now.
He's landing his best shots he's landed in the entire fight thus far. Let's see, can he keep on advancing with that?
Well, he's letting Teofimo lead, and he's countering effectively.
10 seconds, gentlemen.
Is this a Barboza round, Jim, you think?
Well, the one big shot was hard to ignore, and you know, if there's any round so far that you would give to Barboza, that would be it. I don't score fights. Mike, you do.
Yeah, Jim, I have Teofimo Lopez up 5-1. That 6th round where Barboza lands that big right hand. You see Teofimo's legs buckle. That was the first round I gave to Barboza, the challenger. And I think most importantly, Teofimo is now cut under the left eye from that right hand.
He got beat to the punch right there. Teofimo landed in the chest, and Barboza landed right on the nose.
Coppinger's unofficial scorecard, there you see it. You see the 6th round going to Barboza. One punch can sometimes change a fight. That was a really good counter right hand. Wasn't enough to change the fight.
I think we talked Mike into that one. He wanted to get out with the Lopez.
Let's go, coaches. Come on.
You see them working on the right eye right now. It is in a good spot, at least. It's under the eye.
And I think it was that shot that caused it.
Absolutely.
Sometimes a mouse under the eye eventually becomes a cut. That's a big change in a fight.
Most definitely.
But as Barboza begins this round, Teo goes back to the more confident body language, doubling the jab, waiting to counter. looking if Barboza is going to lead, which he isn't at this point. Teofimo comes with a hard right hand over the top.
Great right hand. I think Barboza just stands in front of Teo until Teo jabs. He won't beat him to the jab. Jab first.
I don't know if he's quick enough to jab first. It takes explosive release sometimes to do that. He's good.
Yeah, and you see Barboza's left eye swelling up here.
He just got countered with an overhand right. Ooh. Teo's getting close with combinations, guys.
Whatever effect that right hand had, Teofimo certainly has recovered now.
At the end of the day, Barboza just doesn't have the same kind of firepower that Teofimo Lopez has, and that's what's been the difference in the fight so far. That, along with the fact that Teo clearly won the first 5 rounds.
And with experience, you know, Barboza will learn that there's different, you know, he can do with different wrinkles.
When a fighter is 32-0, Antonio, is there still a gap in experience? It depends on which opponents he's fought, right?
Exactly, exactly. It doesn't mean that he's fought the best, but he has fought good fighters. I don't know how many great fighters he's faced. And tonight he's in there with a great fighter.
Well, that's what everybody said about Teofimo Lopez after he beat Lomachenko. And he's flashing that kind of talent again here tonight in New York City, in Times Square, in the first ever event of its kind.
Yeah, Barboza seems to not be committing to one strategy. We've seen him trying to pressure Teofimo. Now he's trying to counter him, and nothing's really working, is it?
Well, again, if you're just as quick as your opponent, then you can gain purchase by countering well. But if you're not as quick as your opponent, it's very hard to counter him. And Teofimo Lopez is quicker than Arnold Barboza. We can see that.
Barboza's gonna have to learn variations in his boxing game. You know, you throw the jab 100 different ways. Speed, power, and those are the, he can take some power off and smash it down with power, but he has to have variations to his game, Mike.
And you can see it on Barboza's face. He is getting frustrated, right?
By thinking with the smarter fighter.
Watch party in Times Square. Watch party in New York City. And let's take a look at a package from the fight that illustrates Teofimo Lopez's defensive skills, Antonio.
And here, we see Lopez on the ropes, but he's not covering up. He's moving, making him miss with every punch, and he have a right to counter as well. So that's great boxing ability right there, and we didn't see that in Teofimo's last few fights.
And when you swing hard and miss, you lose some of your energy. You're sapped a little bit by that, right?
Every time. You expend yourself.
Seconds out. Let's go, coach.
So great defensive fighters over the course of 12 rounds can wear the opponent down simply by making them miss.
Most definitely.
Who did that to you? Anybody?
Man, by making me miss.